What's up, guys? Welcome to What's up, guys? Welcome to Forge Master Metal Reviews, the place where you can get the most out of your metal releases, artists, musicians, and fans alike. I'm your co-host, Brandon.
Hi, Benfo here. Great to see you guys. This is our best albums of the month segment where we give you what caught our eyes for the best metal albums in May.
That's right. Make sure to follow us on Spotify. Links in the description so you can get all of these playlists and check out these bands. You don't want to miss them. And hey, if you like metal content like this, maybe hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out to continue to bring you killer content like this.
Frostbitten black metal in the summer, melodic doom, badass death metal riffs straight from Slayer's best moments. Let's get into our best metal albums of May.
Panopticon, and again Into the Light. Released May 15th on Bind Rune Recordings. You know what? I think it's really fucking awesome that black metal bands are experimenting with the hopeful side of the intensity of emotions that swirl in our brains when overcoming something difficult. The liner notes of this album honestly sum up this record beautifully, and I don't really think that I could do any better. So I'm just gonna describe this for you from Austin Lunn, the composer himself. This record is dedicated to all who refuse to give up and continue to struggle for light and beauty in this world, and is in memory of John Preen, who gave us so much in his lifetime, and to Riva Myers-Shemansky, who lives on in our cherished memories of her radiant personality, brilliant art, and infectious laughter. Fill your heart with hope, a hope that we will return again into the light. Do not let the fire burn out. Amazing words there, and honestly, these are all things that I felt when I listened to the record. After this year of dog shit that most of us had for various fucking reasons, I don't think that this album can hit more on the head with how I feel about it right now. This album is beautifully constructed with a wide variety of instruments that make the record feel wonderfully hopeful, as well as devastatingly emotional and heavy. Ben did a really great review of it. The link will be up here if you want to check it out in detail. This is now my favorite Panopticon record. I don't give a fuck what any of you think. My only small gripe with this record is I wish that the vocals were just a little bit louder, but holy shit, it is rare when an album hits you this hard, and it's easily an album of the year contender for me. 4.5 out of 5, Flowering Fields.
First of all, gotta say, Panopticon, yeah, okay, awesome. Definitely album of the month for me, but we're not going to talk about that one again, because I want to talk about Hanging Garden with Skeleton Lake. If you couldn't tell from my album review of Hanging Garden's Skeleton Lake, I really love that record. I'm sure that this will be one of the albums that I revisit when the months get colder up here in New England. Songs like Winter's Kiss, Field of Reeds, and Nowhere Haven offer spectacular mid-tempo bangers that leave you wanting more from this depressive Finnish outfit. I enjoyed this record very much and hope you will too. Hanging Garden is a band that needs to be heard more.
Dordeduh, Har, released May 14th on Prophecy Productions. This is my first run with the 2009 formed Dordeduh, which comes from the Romanian words just smashed together, meaning longing for spirit. This was the year with their album Har that I honestly just fell in love with this band. Out of the ashes of some internal struggles with Nagura Bunget, no longer a band unfortunately, we have Dordeduh, and to be honest, I love this band's musical endeavors far more than what Nagura Bunget did. Har is their second full-length record since their debut, released over 9 years ago, so I think that that's why I had very limited knowledge of this band. Har at its root is definitely a black metal record, but there's a lot of really fantastic elements from folk, cinematic soundtrack inspiration, gothic, electronica, and even some progressive rock to make this just absolutely fascinating to experience. The album itself deserves a full listen, because even after spinning this record multiple times, I don't think I can pick a favorite song. Every track is just masterfully composed and has some serious intricacies that you just don't typically see in a black metal band, and that makes Har a very special experience. The album plays with calm and gentle atmospheres all the way up to extreme metal territories, pummeling the listener with blast beats and sharply intricate and catchy guitar work. Even the vocals explore guttural lows all the way up to soaring clean vocals with total ease. And that makes Har one of the most interesting albums that I've heard yet in 2021. This record deserves deserves many, many listens to highly appreciate the variety and crushingly heavy compositions through the quiet and melodic, introspective moments. 4.5 out of 5, Spiritual Diamonds.
Gateway's Flesh Reborn is a standout record from this month simply due to its depraved and monstrous sound. If I heard the guitar tone on Flesh Reborn on any other album, I'd probably trash it because it's gross. This one-man death doom band has found a way to harness that filthy and wretched distortion signal that completely suits the purpose of this band. Beyond just the guitar tone, there are some really cool moments on Flesh Reborn that helped make it stand out and call for repeat listens. Be sure to watch the Underground Spotlight episode where I talk more about this album in depth, and check out the score that I give it on that album review segment.
Autumn for crippled children. As the morning dawns, we close our eyes. That is a full sentence. Released May 21st on Prosthetic Records. I have a massive soft spot for black gaze bands. Something about the genre is just so soothing despite its razor-sharp, raw compositions and gloomy subject matter. But I don't care. I throw on any black gaze album and I instantly feel like I'm being wrapped in a warm blanket of comfort. Hailing from the Netherlands, Autumn for Crippled Children play a form of black gaze among the lines of bands like Lantlos, Deaf Heaven, and Alcest, but much more on the dreamy post-rock soundscape side. Some of my favorite albums by them were the 2013's Try Not to Destroy Everything You Love, and also 2015's The Long Goodbye. As much as I love the black gaze sound, I typically go for bands that at least try to stay more in the extreme metal territory, embracing sections of blast beats and metal riffing, and unfortunately, while this album does a lot of great things, it misses some marks for me, leaning into the post-rock territory a little too much. They've nailed so many components of their sound though that there's times that I just wish that they would go for it and give me some intensity to contrast those feel-good melancholic guitar melody moments. This album was definitely a step in the right direction compared to their last record, but I think if they leaned a little bit more into the mean territory, this record would have just swept into fantastic metal album status. Still a good album and definitely worth the listen if you're itching for some black gaze. 3.5 out of 5, Wintry Landscapes.
Graceless Planet is another one of my picks from Underground Spotlight that has graduated to the best of the month. Thanks to William for the suggestion, and also for pointing out that the full album was not on Bandcamp for some reason. This is not the first time that we've seen errors on streaming platforms, so it's imperative that whoever discovers it really informs someone that represents the band or the market or the label or whoever who may have just done those people a huge favor by reporting weird things that you discover. Nihilanth has gracelessly graced us with the fantastic death metal record. I really want to hear their vocalist embrace his voice a bit more without hurting himself. I think he's just kind of imitating at this point. With a good teacher like Matt from Cardavox Academy or the Queen of Scream herself, Melissa Cross, I think he could really become a monster frontman and set Nihilanth to new levels.
Djevel, Tankar, somber, Natten, released May 14th on Aftermath Music, another band that's been around for over 10 years and I haven't heard of. Djevel released a bloody fantastic black metal record with a lot of surprises. 10 years ago, their debut album, Dawnsinger, was highly revered as fierce, extremely raw, and a breathtaking underground gem in the black metal scene. The trio have returned with their 7th full-length album with absolutely massive lumbering and raw black metal tracks, experimenting with elements of atmospheric and melodic subgenres. The album feels like a frantic trek through the northern wilderness in the middle of the night during a full moon, and you can feel the presence of nightkin hunters slowly encroaching upon you as you scramble for safety. This album absolutely pays homage to traditional days of black metal, but what I love about it is they were unafraid to experiment with modern production techniques to make the album feel fresh and new. The album is still raw and evil, beautiful, but it feels equally evil and suffocating as any traditional black metal release of its influence. For black metal, this album is a complete surprise to me, and if you love Norwegian black metal, you have to give this one a shot. 4 out of 5 full moons.
Violet Cold, Empire of Love. Thanks to Brandon for showcasing this fantastic album. And yeah, if you can't tell, I love black metal in many forms, from that raw Fisher-Price recording studio sound to that polished post-black metal fused with EDM. I love it all. Black metal has always been about saying fuck you to a chosen establishment. This time, Violet Cold is taking on human rights issues with a no-holds-barred middle finger to anyone looking down their nose at the LGBTQ community. This music is great. While it may not be trap metal per se, Violet Cold is definitely one of the post-black metal bands that's experimenting with EDM, and I think it's really done tastefully. It's awesome. I'm giving Empire of Love 4.4 out of 5 fists of solidarity.
What metal albums did you love from May? Let us know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to enter our vinyl giveaway of Cannibal Corpse Violence Unimagined. Link is up here somewhere for how you can enter.
As always, go with the gods, our Metal Forge brethren. Get after those goals, trample the weak, and hurdle the dead. See you next time.